There's a small, forgotten town called Ravenwood. It's not on most maps, and even locals in nearby towns pretend it doesn't exist. Ask someone about it, and they'll look away or change the subject. It's like they're scared the name alone might summon something. But Ravenwood is real. And what's in it? That's the real nightmare. The first reports of something strange came in the late 1970s. A group of college students from a nearby university decided to make a low-budget documentary about urban legends. They'd heard the rumors. A town where people vanished, where strange lights appeared in the sky, and where no one dared to enter the old church at its center. They thought it would be fun, something spooky to show their friends. They laughed about it at first, making jokes about ghosts and aliens. They had no idea what they were walking into. They borrowed some equipment, packed a van, and set off for Ravenwood. The directions they got were sketchy at best. They followed a winding dirt road deep into the woods, their map barely making sense. Just when they thought they were lost, they saw it. Ravenwood. The town looked abandoned. Overgrown grass covered the streets, and the houses were crumbling, their windows shattered and doors hanging open. It was dead silent. No birds, no wind, nothing. But the strangest part was how it felt. One of the students, Mark, described it as if the air itself was heavier, like the town was watching them. They decided to set up camp in the town square, right in front of the church. It was the biggest building there, its steeple towering above the rest of the decayed town. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, other than how eerie everything was. They explored a few houses, finding old furniture covered in dust, children's toys scattered on the floor, and a few faded family photos left behind. But when they stepped into the church, everything changed. The inside of the building was darker than it should have been, even with sunlight streaming through the broken windows. The air was icy cold, colder than it was outside. The pews were scratched and carved with strange symbols, things no one in the group recognized. Near the altar, they found something strange, a trap door. It was locked with a thick, rusted chain, but the lock didn't look like it had been touched in years. That's when they heard it, a faint, muffled sound, screaming. It came from below the trap door. At first, they thought it was an animal, but as they got closer, they realized it sounded human, like someone was crying out for help. It was faint, but desperate. They hesitated. Part of them wanted to leave it alone, but curiosity got the better of them. They broke the lock with a crowbar and lifted the trap door. A staircase led down into darkness. The air coming from below smelled horrible, rotten, like something had been dead for a long time. But the screaming had stopped. They decided to go down anyway, their camera leading the way. The footage from here is shaky, but you can see the walls covered in a slimy black substance. It wasn't just on the walls, it was dripping, oozing, almost alive. At the bottom of the stairs, they found a circular room. Symbols like the ones on the pews were carved into every surface. In the center of the room was a large, shallow pool, filled with a dark, thick liquid. It smelled metallic, like blood mixed with decay. Then, the lights on their camera flickered. The screaming started again, louder this time, echoing all around them. But it wasn't coming from the pool or the staircase, it was everywhere. And then the camera caught it. Something moved in the corner of the room just out of the light. It was fast, too fast to be human, and its shape didn't make sense. Long limbs, too many joints, and eyes that seemed to glow faintly in the dark. The footage becomes chaotic. The students are screaming, running back up the stairs. The camera shakes violently, showing brief flashes of the thing chasing them. You can hear one of them yelling, "Go, go, don't look back." But Amy didn't make it. The camera falls to the ground, showing her being dragged back into the darkness. Her screams cut off abruptly. The footage ends there. The students were never seen again. Weeks later, someone found their van abandoned on the edge of the forest. The police dismissed the footage as a hoax, claiming the students probably staged it and then ran off. But if that's true, why did every officer involved in the case refuse to talk about it afterward? Years passed and Ravenwood became an urban legend. Years passed and Ravenwood became an urban legend. But there's more to the story. In 1992, a group of paranormal investigators tried to find the town. They followed the same road described in the reports, but when they got there, they found nothing, just trees and empty land. But here's the thing. Ravenwood still appears. Truck drivers on lonely highways have reported seeing an old wooden sign with the town's name, pointing down a dirt road. People who get too curious say they found the town, just like the students did. And just like the students, they never come back. So, what is Ravenwood? Some say it's cursed, a place where something unspeakable happened. Others think it's a trap, a ghost town that lures people in to feed on them. And some believe the town isn't on our map because it's not entirely in our world. Whatever the truth is, one thing's clear. If you ever see a sign for Ravenwood, don't follow it. Don't stop. Don't look back. Just keep driving. Now, if you want more terrifying stories like this one, hit subscribe. Or if you're ready for another nightmare, click the next video.